Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Welcome to this week's episode of the Level With You show. Today, I am joined by my two other good friends, the Sub-Zero hero, Kenny Castro,
What's up, everybody?
and the Phantom producer himself, who is not so much of a phantom, but he is a real boy today, Tyler Hadley.
I'm back after a 2-week hiatus.
And you moved your spot.
I did move my spot. I moved my
Your
desk.
spot.
I moved my desk from over there to over here.
Well, oh, shoot. Yeah, I was just going to say, I haven't been in your house in like a year since the pandemic. So
That's
I was trying
right.
to see where all the wood pieces are.
Yeah, I'm putting up some walls back there, and there's some other stuff happening in the darkness over there.
Oh yeah,
In the darkness.
in the dark, in the dank basement.
That's right. It's a good basement. It's gonna be an even better basement.
It's true. It's hard to believe because ours is a very nice basement. I can't wait to get back into hanging out there.
Same.
When we don't have the risk of dying from going outside.
I know.
But for those who don't know, this is a weekly video game themed podcast, and we are taking it a little bit lax this week. We're gonna have a nice little casual session. Wiley is taking a little break this week. We miss him very much, so I think this week from today we're gonna hang out, do some good chatting, and do what we always do: is look pretty and sound pretty decent. So
Sounded pretty decent.
Sounds good to me.
So what's up, guys? How's everybody's day?
Day's been good. Last couple weeks have been good. Working on the basement, really.
Nice.
Working on work. Going to the gym. I've been going to the gym for like the past 2 weeks. That's been cool.
Nice. Hell yeah. That's I worked out for the first time in a very long time yesterday, and by workout I mean I did some push-ups and some jackknives and ran on a bicycle. And by ran on a bicycle I meant pedaled on a work bike for like 35 minutes.
I bicycled on a bicycle.
I bicycled on a bicycle and I felt like I was gonna puke.
But hey, you're still here. You
I
didn't
am,
puke.
surprisingly.
Yeah, you made it. You made it through.
I did. It was fun. It was good. It definitely made me want to get back into being physical again. So hopefully you can stick to a little plan just like you're doing and get back on track. Because it does. I definitely agree that it makes you feel so much better being active and working out. At least once a day, it totally just ramps up the mental state.
It's all about that routine. So I try to go every weekday at lunchtime, typically between 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock is when I'll leave the house. And then I'll be at the gym for like 45 minutes to an hour.
That's awesome. Do you still go to the Planet down the street?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
How's that been? Because I really want to go back, but I haven't since the pandemic.
I mean, it hasn't been bad. I mean, the time that I go, there's usually only like max 20 people in there.
That's awesome.
During that time, so it's not too bad. I mean, everyone's got their mask on the entire time, so I haven't had any issues. I got the hand sanitizers everywhere and the cleaning stuff. I mean, regular old Planet Fitness, $10 a month.
Nice. Did you do the thing? Because I totally flubbed up this year. I've been trying to do that thing with the offer like at New Year's where it's like $99 for the year, but I definitely missed that this year.
Nah, I feel like I never actually do that. Caitlin, though, she ended up getting like a few weeks free because her membership ran out like end of December, and she's just been like going for the past 2 weeks. And the other day they finally were like, excuse me, miss.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah. Sometimes they don't give a shit and you just walk right in.
Yeah.
And other times they're just like, excuse me, sir, you need to wait in line and then come back here because I need to see your pass. That happened to me once. And I felt really bad because I really wasn't in too good of a mood. So I was like waiting behind some lady for like, I don't know, 20 minutes trying to get into the gym. I was like, I just want to get my run in. It's already late. I got to wake up at 6 for work tomorrow. I'm not having a good day. The guy's like, get back over here. Got to see your pass. And I was like, all right. And I said, I'm sorry.
God, fine. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, cool, man. That sounds good.
What's going on with you, Kenny?
Yeah, what are you doing, Mr. Clicks-a-lot over there? What are you doing?
Well, while you guys were conversating, I was out here just Cyber Shadow, the game that I suck at, and hopefully we'll hear about from Tyler and Wiley next week because
You barely even played it. You can't say you suck yet.
I already suck at it. So even though I did be the first boss, so kudos to me. I thought I was gonna give up before that. No, but honestly, other than that, I don't know. I've been just doing a lot of just hanging back, playing some games here and there, and just reflecting a lot about life lately. You know, I feel like that's why we were like, oh, Wiley took the break, and me and him were talking a little bit last night in our group chat, and I was like, well, breaks are good, breaks are needed.
I agree.
Can't just be go, right? And
burn yourself out way too quick.
Exactly. And I think I am one that does a lot of burning myself out, right?
You're always going too. You're up all the time, and you're like, you got kids, you're up early, you gotta go to work.
Mm-hmm. So it's one of those, like, I'm not going to sleep until 3 a.m. sometimes, and then I'm up getting the kid, making sure little man is in remote learning. And then once I'm up, I gotta make sure I'm doing work, and then all the whole routine over again. So I feel like barely any sleep, just flowing through life. And then I'm like, does it all make sense, right? So I was like, so I've been sitting here and just really contemplating a lot of different things. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I think I'm setting the goal for myself is that one way or the other, I don't want to see myself end this year, 2021, still at the agency I'm working at.
Word.
So may that be that I start my own something and venture off into the vast wilderness of the world with just a plan in hand. But I think that I'm at a point in life where I could keep on doing what I'm doing. It's rewarding. I feel it's good to work with the families I work with. Not that I don't love it, but I think that I'm at a point where this isn't what I expected to make a career out of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not that in love with it. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see what 2021 brings me, what comes forward. I think that if I didn't have my family and you guys and just gaming sometimes, I think I'd go crazy. Yeah. Especially during this pandemic.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta have your stuff, man. You gotta have your zone. You gotta have your comfort zone.
I definitely say, I think I definitely am lucky to have a good group of friends in general. Like, you know, I think that some when you talk to them and they're like, well, I only got a couple friends I talk to. And I'm like, I'm lucky enough to say that I got you guys, right? And then I have a whole nother group of 4 or 5 friends who I talk to on a daily basis as well. And we'll sit there, as much as sometimes I hate it, Warzone, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I was able to get them to download Overcooked. So we were playing Overcooked.
I saw I saw that on Discord the other day. I was like, can he play Overcooked too? What's he doing?
That's pretty awesome.
That's sick, man.
I would love to get in on that next time.
Oh yeah, honestly, it's insanity. I would love, honestly, to get it going.
I can just imagine. Who are you playing with?
I was playing with Black Tie.
Oh Jesus! I can just imagine playing that with him. I feel like in that scenario, like I'd be the one like screaming at him, be like, "Move faster!"
At one point in time, he was pushing out sushi without the fish, just rice in the roll, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Or adding extra ingredients to the plate, and I was like, "What?" And then,
what the hell? Go wash the dishes. We got no clean dishes.
Yeah, it was frantic. It was frantic at one point in time.
I really enjoyed that game. That is a lot of fun. Plus, that would be a riot to see Tyler play.
Yeah. So and then the crazy went. So then we split it up, right? And then we were like, oh, it was just 3 of us. So we were like, oh, let's do some verses. And I didn't realize that I thought you could just do 3 teams, right? 3 teams of one person. No, it's only 2 teams, and you split it up. And I was like, so I went on where it was Ty and Ricky against me, and I still put out more orders than they did, more correct orders by myself. And I was like, you see where communication happens? So we did some of that. We've done some Monopoly on the Xbox.
How is that?
Man, it is cutthroat and ruthless. Friendships get tested. I know.
It's a trying game.
It is. Tyler was here one time when we did Monopoly, and he already saw how it could get ruthless in person. Imagine online. Like at one point in time, one person got disconnected, so all their property got put up for auction. And the other aunt, my brother aunt, he by mistake bid like $10 on one of the properties, and brought up the bidding price to $120, and he only had $129 left. So then instantly you heard Ricky like, "Everybody don't bid, let him get it." And I was like, "Yo, you are so cutthroat." No, so everybody backed out, and then he got it and was left with $1. So then of course, the next row, he literally had to pay like somebody $600 and went bankrupt.
That's is that when you lose Monopoly? When you go bankrupt, you're just like, out.
Yep. So one thing, at least what we try to do is most of us try, like if we land on somewhere and we don't have the money to pay for it, then we're bankrupting right away. We're not trying to mortgage or sell things. Speed up the game, because after an hour or so, like, and people arguing back and forth, because you get people. I love the personalities we get sometimes playing it, because my brother Anthony, he is like a slumlord. He's trying to trade you the worst deals in the world. He's like, "Oh, he's
the Don Corneo of Monopoly."
Yeah, he's like, "I got $100 in a railroad for Park Place and Boardwalk," and I'm like, "What? That doesn't make any sense." Like, look at the trade value.
Don't think about it. It's a good deal. Just please. Yeah, I really need this, man.
Just sign your name. Just sign your name.
I really need a quota. I'm trying to win my Mexico trip.
And then he'll sit there and be like, "Don't listen to nobody else. This is a trade between me and you.
Yeah,
don't listen to all the outside voices."
You pull that too in Catan. We're sitting there like, "Oh, don't tell them trade my resources." Hey, come on, you want these sheep? Don't you want these sheep? You want these sheep?
I was actually even looking. They have like a Catan on Steam, and I was like, "Ooh, imagine we played this on stream." I feel like
that was a lot of fun.
I feel like we really could get more of these games going online. Some of these board games that might be on Steam. I think Monopoly might be on Steam as well.
Tabletop for sure.
Some more tabletop streams, because I think it just when we do it, just hanging out, it gets super funny and intense, and I feel like people don't get to see that part of us sometimes.
Yeah,
so that's where like you get Tyler, even though he won't admit it, like you get Tyler scheming against me. So like it's almost like he walks into the game. A complete mindset is take out Kenny, and I've witnessed it multiple times. Like him and his girlfriend will walk into the game, and Caitlin, like, and it's like they're synchronized. It's like a wall. It's like wall.
You go fucking what is it? Mega Mind mode. You start turning blue, and your forehead just goes. You're like, I've got to win all the game.
And it's the competitor in me, right? So those are some of the things I miss with this pandemic, is being able to get together, play some board games. Everybody knows I love playing some Catan. I love playing board games in general. I still remember the first time, like Tyler was like, "Hey, come over. We're gonna play some a board game at my house," and I'm like,
I do miss those nights a lot. That was a lot of fun.
Came over, met Dan, met Wiley. We were playing. What was the Cosmic Encounters?
Yeah.
So they broke down the game for me real quick, and within the first go around, I was like, "So I could do this, and I do it." And Dan looked at me. He's like, "You never played this before?" Nah. I'm pretty sure that from what you told me, if I'm correct, I could do all this, right? She's like, "Yeah,
like you that."
So,
awesome.
Definitely those things that I miss. Anything you guys? Anything else you guys miss during all this craziness?
That hanging out, pretty much like Friday nights of being like, "Hey, I'm having people over. Come over. We're gonna hang, have some drinks, play games." But that being like the norm.
You could say it. The Wendy's trips.
While
people are in the basement drinking, hanging out, playing games.
Let's go upstairs and play our waifu fighting game, and then go to Wendy's.
Everybody come back upstairs like, "You guys went to Wendy's?" I'm like,
"Yeah."
The fact that we took over a whole Jackbox game and made it about Wendy's.
No. I missed that. That was a lot of fun. I played my Jackbox again.
Yeah, definitely getting together for the show and stuff. That's something that we missed. I mean, like going out to dinner and stuff like that. Been missing that a little bit.
Same.
Definitely. Those are definitely some of those interactions are like, I'm glad, if you really think about it, right? Tyler's birthday's in January, so when you look at it, you're like, holy crap! One of our major dinners we were able to pull off before the pandemic was Hot Pot.
Oh my god, that's right.
We were able to pull off and go to Hot Pot, or have some fun.
You're right. Wow,
I had some pig's brain and all that good stuff.
Wow, that was last year. Wow.
A year ago, basically.
That feels like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it does. It does, right?
When
Because
we got to go out and be real people.
I
That was
know.
right
yeah,
before everything. Wow. See?
We're talking about going to Korean barbecue. Never got to go to Korean barbecue.
yep, everything got shut down. Like we were like, oh yeah, next one, Korean barbecue, all
Yep.
that good stuff. Nope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's some of those things, man. I think this past year, almost year, has been insane and just been, one of the tougher challenges in I'd say our lifetime. You know, I know I've dealt with personally. I dealt with like a couple months without light when I was in Dominican Republic and I was there for one of the hurricane seasons. And I lived
Yeah.
there during that. That was a little tough. I was young though, so you're entertained by a fly in the wall at
Yeah.
that
It's a
age.
lot. It's definitely a lot easier
Yep.
in a way.
But now we're adults, and thankfully video games didn't halt production and they still were able to release games for us.
Thank God.
And
Yeah.
we got new games, Game Pass coming in clutch with free games on there. Just pay the service.
I'm surprised, man. I gotta say, I love a Game Pass PC. I don't even have my Xbox hooked up, but that's PC Game Pass has been.
I've been on
Solid.
point, right?
Yeah.
So that honestly, I say it, and I'm a big person about it. I'm like, you guys know, me and Wiley were talking about Game Pass from the beginning, pushing it, and I just feel like more and more people just are on the wagon. They did. I don't know if you guys knew, almost come up with they almost dropped the ball the other night. They attempted to increase Xbox Live Gold prices.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. People were freaking the fuck out, which I mean, I do have to agree, like $130 a month. Or no, $130 for a year.
Yeah, because what they did was they increased the monthly gold, right? The monthly, just 1 month, up $1, and then I think a couple bucks for the other ones, right? The 3 month and the 6 month. I think they were phasing out the year subscription one, right?
Uh-huh.
So people were like, they were like freaking out.
Yeah.
I kind of understood, but I also thought I knew why it sucked as a move that they try to do, because you're trying to make gold by itself less appealing and make a Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate more appealing.
Yeah.
But in sight, you're kind of just like seem like shady and just not consumer friendly, which is and your whole thing with this new console generation is trying to be consumer friendly, right?
Yeah.
So it was one of those, but I was glad that the day didn't even end and they were like, you know what? We made a mistake.
Forget it.
We get it.
Forget it.
We heard what you said, and you know what? On top of going back and not changing anything, we're gonna unlock free to play games. You don't need Xbox Live Gold anymore to play them.
Really?
So yep. So Warzone, Fortnite, any free to play game that you would have needed gold before to play online, now you don't need it.
Wow.
Which is already like that on PlayStation though.
That's true. Okay.
So they're late on it. PlayStation, that was one of those major moves that PlayStation did, and Xbox was just a little late and behind on it, but nobody was really calling them out on it.
A little behind the ball there. That's wild.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, now we got Cyber Shadow on Game Pass that we'll be diving into.
I know.
I think I might try and play Donut County 2 that just came out.
I did play that and beat it.
I was gonna say, were you playing that on your phone, Kenny, or were you playing that?
No, on the Game Pass.
Okay, so that's not. Well, I think I got confused because I saw your phone symbol on Discord and it said Donut County. I was like, "You playing on the phone?"
I might have been up. I might have had the Discord app open on my phone and then playing Donut County. But
no, that's cool.
Honestly, that game is super quick to beat. I think it's gonna last you like 3 to 4 hours to run through.
Yeah,
and it's such a quirky game once you play it, and the raccoon character BK is my favorite character in there. He just felt like me. Like I felt like, whoa, they ordered a donut. Like, but you're not sending actual donuts. You're sending holes. My fault.
So what's the game about? Is it just like you,
So what it is about is that these raccoons have moved into this city, right? And they bought out this local donut shop, but instead, when people order donuts through their app, they're not delivering actual donuts. They're delivering holes that increase in size the more things drop into it.
That's scary.
So eventually, you'll run through it, and you'll be just moving from order to order, sucking up everything in sight into this hole as it becomes massive and people start disappearing. And it's kind of like a retelling of how everything went down. So everybody's already gone through the hole, and they're just like, "What happened to you?" And then that person retells like, "Well, I ordered a donut," and then it brings you to what they were doing when the hole arrived. And BK is honestly, like I said, I felt like if I was in voice acting, I could have been BK, because the whole time, at one point in time, he even reverses it. Like, I did everybody a favor here. I'm like, that's such a me answer. Like, you're not gonna tell me I did wrong if everything you're telling me sounds positive. Like, I fixed your bug problem, fixed your rattlesnake problem.
That's
like,
all that
granted, I took your home into the ground in a hole, but I fixed your issues.
Right.
Is the home still intact? It doesn't sound like a bad thing to me.
So definitely one of those, and I think it was the game. So you appreciate what he did and the art style and what he went for. Very humorous and lighthearted. So I think you'll enjoy it, Tyler. It's a quick game, so you'll be able to run through it fairly quickly.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I know that. I was gonna say, you guys see that you guys will be able to play it if you guys wanted to. The medium drops in 2 days. That is a PC and Series X and S console exclusive, so it won't be on the Xbox One. To play it, it got to be next gen or on the PC.
Do you think they're gonna keep doing that with like future releases to kind of get
certain games?
Yeah, to be like, hey, I know we said it's backwards compatible, but certain ones like this are only going to be.
Yes, because I think that the team was very honest, and they were straightforward that what they wanted to do with the split worlds, running alongside each other, it was impossible to do in the last gen. With the tech, so it was only something they were able to pull off with a PC, with PCs and with the Series X and S.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very excited for that game. I've been seeing a lot of good things about it, and you guys know I suck at horror games, so that's gonna be a fun time. I'm contemplating whether or not I will play it, but I got that, recording some things with Anthony. But recording the Kingdom Hearts 1 playthrough, going back and revisiting a classic.
A classic. It's so classic.
Yeah, speaking of the media, made me want to take a look at our Fantasy Critic draft, because there have been a couple of games that have dropped that we got some points on the board.
Oh shoot!
Who got points on the board?
Anthony's got 16 points on the board. Hitman 3 scored an 86.
Yeah.
Which one?
Hitman 3.
Hit Guy. Oh, Family Guy, the game 3.
Cyber Shadow sitting at an 81, so Wiley's got 11 points.
Ooh. Shit. Ooh, I see you guys. Okay.
Why do I have all this porn favorited? Where's the good stuff? I gotta really go through my old favorites. Jesus Christ.
Damn, you got me wanting to pull this up, but
porn? Go ahead.
What? No, not that. No. Nah, but honestly, so tell me. I know me and Anthony been gaming a lot, but what about you, Tyler? Have you lately?
I haven't been playing too much. I feel like the only gaming I've been doing is every now and then I'll sit down and play some Rocket League. I mean, we've had a couple sessions of Risk of Rain 2. Really, that's been it. Nothing's really drawn me in. Really, definitely gonna sit down and play some Cyber Shadow. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of like one of my next questions was like what games like other people want to play. Like I know Kenny, you had mentioned that blah blah blah. What was it called? The game on Steam.
Gloomhaven.
Yeah, Gloomhaven on Steam.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely wanna take some time, man. Just find some games. Um, and get some games going. I actually was talking to Anthony also about, you know, because we our little show segment, we haven't recorded any new ones yet, but extra level just kind of coming back and having some more of those, maybe some weekly ones, and getting back on dropping those extra levels. We were gonna, do one on Yakuza, like a dragon,
Oh, definitely.
and we were gonna do another one kind of just talking about our backlog and just how difficult it is to kind of go back and jump in and tackle such huge logs that we have of video games.
Speaking of that, yeah, when I did when I told you guys about the other day, Dragon Quest V, I thought that like 'cause it's a handheld RPG, originally a
Mhm.
SNES game, but I mean, it's probably because I don't have a job right now, but I just blew through that in like 39 hours, and I was like, "Holy shit." I
Yeah,
was like, I
this
didn't never thought that and I bought it. Like, I ended up the story with that one is a little funny. I bought it for myself for Christmas back in 2010 when I worked at GameStop because I was like, sitting in the chair." Dragon Quest, I like those games. It's on DS now, and they're also kind of fairly new because Nintendo DS is still, relevant at the time. And I bought it. I went to go play it, plugged the cart in, and cart looks fine. Somebody must have like used it to try to hack and failed with it, or just like
Oh wow.
scammed somehow because I plugged it in and it said Star Wars like Stormtrooper or something. Some kind of like knockoff DS Star Wars game. I was like, what
What the
the
heck?
fuck is this?
Wow.
And it wouldn't even boot up. The game wouldn't boot. So I was like, oh, this is really weird. And since I worked at GameStop at the time, I just brought it back. And I think I just like somehow like in the system because it used to be so flawed, you could just like scan it. And especially since I worked there, I would just go and like scan it for something else. So then they can just like switch it out for another DS game that I
Mm.
had or that I wanted to buy at the time. But those games are going for a lot now on the
Are
DS.
they?
Yeah, I was really surprised, and I'm glad that pretty proud to say I own all of them on the Nintendo DS. So
Oh
Look at
wow.
you. Look at you. Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7 is on the 3DS. That's pretty actually relatively easy to get. 8 on the 3DS, which is rad, and then 9 on the original DS, which was awesome for the time because that was like an MMO that you could play just on your DS. You could like you made your own party, you made your main character, made your party of characters. There was a story mode and everything. You can go around, but in that game, you could like street pass with people, and by street pass, you could like play
Mm.
with somebody else. You could jump into their world, they could jump into your world, so you could like turn-based battle with them. You can go through dungeons. It was really cool.
Hmm.
That sounds cool. That sounds like the beginning of the street Nintendo Street Pass
Yeah,
and stuff. I really didn't play too much on the handhelds, even though I owned them, so I didn't mess around too much with the Street Pass.
yeah, same.
Um,
Even same. I didn't really mess around with Street Pass. I had like one close friend growing up. He's actually featured in the Yick episode. I just is going to be up pretty soon. We growing up, we're pretty tight with the
Oh yeah.
handhelds. We play PSP.
Man, that Yick game. I think I'm on like episode 4 or something like that.
Hell yeah, I'm glad you're following through. It's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
I want to like it so much too. I really want to like the game, but it's just
Anthony's trying. He's like, I wanna.
I want to. I really don't want. And Tyler, you should be on the next episode with me. I found it a lot more fun to play the game with somebody else. Like at
Yeah,
least there watching.
right.
It's just,
I know. I was watching one of the episodes with Patrick, and
yeah.
he started doing some like robot voice, and I was
Oh
like,
my god, yeah, when
I
you're
was
in the
like dying
dreams,
at
like,
that.
hello.
Hello, don't you Why-
Can't do it.
come through my lights and through my doors? I don't even know like how he did the voice, but it sounded so
He's
good.
so good at it. He's so good at the Stephen Hawking robot voice. He's a natural. Like he's the way that he was like telling me how to do it is like you have to breathe in when you talk. So I'm like, hello. And like I just dry out my throat so much.
There's a whole method to the madness. Honestly, I feel like with that, I was watching some of those videos as well, and even when we were recording, Anthony,
Mhm.
I find it even more amusing to go through some of these games, even to revisit games we both have played.
Oh
Like
yeah.
we were just doing this Kingdom Hearts one, and it was so entertaining to go back. Like these are games we find to be classics, and we played how many times over.
Oh yeah.
But revisiting it together in a way, while like I'm playing and watching the off stream as I'm recording and also talking, and
Mhm.
I'm picking up your audio, it's almost it gives like a whole nother spin to how I'm playing it.
Oh
Because
definitely.
we were sitting there, Tyler, and you'll see when I drop it, we were like the Waka mini game.
I love
And
that.
Anthony's like, you know what? You should beat him without hitting him and just hit the ball back at him. And I'm over here trying to time it, and I'm trying to remember the timing, and I'm just getting hit. I'm like, no, I lost again.
He gets you at the beginning. It's hard, man. He'll like 2-3 of those ball hits. You're fucking out, especially on proud mode.
Oh
But
yeah, and
there's nothing more satisfying than getting that timing down. And
yep, I got him. I was like, there we go. And then Ant was like, oh, how about you want to take on all three of them at the same time? I'm like, let's go. Let me go talk to Teen about this. Boom, got wrecked by them multiple times. And I'm like, I was like, forget this. I don't know how Riku beat these guys. Riku's on steroids.
Yeah, so he's got those big ass feet. He's got
the big ass feet and that kick he does.
Yeah,
he like hits his back and then
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he sits there, his little smug ass expression where he's like, "Come on!" Like you have to hit him 3 times before he'll like counter you, and then you hit him twice, and then he'll jump back and use his goofy feet to hit you.
Then the mini game to the race to name the raft. When I lost the race, he was like, "That's 0-5 now, 0-5."
You're like,
and you hear Anthony in the background like, yeah, because he beat you those 4 times. I'm like, I don't care, Anthony. Let's get to this island. I gathered all the items already.
Oh, share a papu fruit with Kyrie.
Yep.
I'm always tearing you down.
Always. So
stupid kids.
Definitely one of those things. I was like, wow, been enjoying some more of this stuff, like just creating different videos and just going back and even just putting a spin to some of these gameplays. Just like me and Anthony revisiting old titles and just play, like I'm watching him play and just talking, just like a casual conversation while playing, or just making fun of the game or making fun of things we remember from this game, or he's informing me a game I've never played before, giving me a lowdown. I think that's been a nice little spin on it, just something different, because I definitely find that I've done some Let's Plays by myself and I'm like, it's tough sometimes because you get frustrated in the game, then you get focused and you forget that you're even recording the video, so sometimes you stop talking. I almost feel like I stop breathing sometimes.
I feel like that a lot usually, but it's hard when you're grinding too, especially in like an RPG focused game, especially if it's just you playing, because there's a lot of downtime where you're like, I can only talk about looking at this one thing for without like trying to repeat myself so many times. Whereas if you're talking to somebody, you have a way better back and forth. Like the fight with Yick is hard to do that with. I'm just like, it's a little easier because everything's so fucking stupid and the guy just talks way too much. So it's like I either have him talking, which is great that I can like make fun of, or it's just me like, oh, I wonder how many little stupid enemies I have to drag out my battles with.
Yeah, that's one thing about those. The game is like the combat is like so wonky. It's like, wow,
so bad. Like Paper Mario drawn out to like 10 minutes of fight.
Oh yeah.
I'd be down to do a just because like we never actually finished it, like a Super Mario RPG playthrough.
Yeah, we should do that. Would be awesome. I would love to do that because we started it years ago at my house. We didn't record it, but I want to start it and beat it because I've never beaten the game.
I think that'd be fun.
That'd be a good one that you guys could tackle.
Oh, what are you doing later, big boy?
I just gotta eat some pizza and that's it.
Let's Mario it up after some za.
I'm down for that. Do you have like do you have a ROM already or something?
Do I have a ROM? Yeah, I have that, or I could hook up the Super Nintendo Classic. Actually, no, that ROM would probably be better.
Oh yeah, it is on the Super Nintendo Classic. I don't know, whatever works better.
I'll get the ROM.
Ant's like, do I have a ROM?
I actually downloaded a bunch of. I already own them. It's not illegal. A bunch of games that I want, but like Dragon Quest Monsters 2, which you can find on the channel.
Nope.
I was getting my ass slapped. I was getting my butt cheeks clapped together with that yesterday because I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. This is a monster training game. You got to grind." So the whole like 2 hours of me not recording, just going back and trying to grind.
Yeah. Man. Well, so is anything you want to play, Tyler? Like because I know, you know what I was thinking and I was seeing. I'm like, we never got into the Gang Beast hype when Gang Beast dropped. We didn't play any of that. I feel like there must be a bunch of quirky games that we could try to jump online together that maybe cost $10, $15.
Yeah, now that I think about it, there's There's been a couple of games that have been on my mind. I mean, pretty much they've only because I've been like watching other content creators like play these games.
Okay.
I mean, there's definitely like games that I've actually like never tried just because I've never had like PC people to play with, or like things like Gary's Mod, like the prop hunt games and like stuff like that. I think that could always be interesting to play.
Yeah, there's no excuse now. We all four have a gaming PC.
True.
I know.
The prop hunt game does look like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Then there's like the other one, I think it's called it's like a knockoff like Mario Party type game. Can't remember what it's called now.
Anything knockoff Mario Party is always fun.
I feel like I'm always kind of just like keeping my eyes out for something that's like fairly new or like in early access that like has a like this when you mentioned this Gloomhaven game, I thought that looked pretty cool, and like since it is in early access, like it's like getting updates like coming like throughout 2021. So I was like, oh yeah, that would be cool. I feel like that's always kind of like what I have my eyes on.
Yeah, I think that, and you know what, I wish we had more people more engaged sometimes in the comments and even just in the Discord, because I would love to do one night where like we run private matches, right? Of Dead by Daylight, and just let Discord members and other members, just so the audience, be the killer. While us, Level With You, tries to survive and escape their grasp.
Wait.
Oh, the game I was thinking of was Pummel Party.
Pummel Party? That sounds cool.
It's on Steam for $15.
I gotta look up some bugs.
That's not bad. That's doable. That's pretty good. I know Anthony's picking up getting soon in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim, but I
was talking quicker.
I was talking about how if I did pick it up on the PlayStation, that we could potentially just game share for temporarily, so you could run it.
Hell yeah!
So we could all run it, all 4 people.
That would be a lot of fun.
I believe that is a 4-player co-op beat 'em up.
Definitely, I think that's like one of my favorite games of the past 10 years. That game, the game and the soundtrack is.
Yeah. So that'd be a good one. I think that I definitely would like to do more like games together and just stream it together. And I've been seeing a lot of ever since I found out about the cropping in Discord and in OBS and stuff like that. And I've been watching a lot of the kind of funny stuff. And I'm like, why don't we ever play games together and all 3 of us are like 3 or 4 are on camera when we're live streaming? I'm like, it's such a simple thing because of the cropping, and just got to get a layout done for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
So definitely some more of that type of stuff, because definitely I've been watching and I'm like been enjoying some, like I've seen, I'm like, oh wow, like their streams are kind of decent. Like people, like 3 people playing Warzone together, like Nick and Andy and Snowbike Mike, they're playing Warzone together, and then all 3 are sharing their screens, and they're able to flip back and forth, so which perspective is popping up here and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've got Kevin in the background handling all the switching and everything.
Yeah, so definitely some of those stuff that I'm like, oh, that looks great. That looks good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, another game I gotta beat is I'll play through Chrono Trigger. I've never beaten it.
Very true.
That is an endeavor right there.
Yeah, I love that game. I bought it. I have it on the DS and original SNES. I'd love to do that. But even the DS port, I think, is definitely the best port of it.
That's when I'd sit through and watch you, and jump on the Discord and talk and watch you play.
That would be sweet.
I don't think I'd be able to get through my own playthrough of it and finish it.
It's pretty quick, surprisingly. You can beat the whole game in like 17 hours. If you just go straight through it.
But which ending do you get at 17 hours?
Yeah, depending. I know there's like so many endings.
One of the first few games that gave us multiple endings like that. So
Goof troop, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-doo-ba. I'm not looking at ROMs.
You're not looking at ROMs?
I'm not looking at ROMs.
Has anybody been watching any new animes lately?
I tried to catch up on Black Clover yesterday when I was biking, but then the internet died 5 minutes into the episode, and I was like, well, guess I'm not going to do that.
Dang, that's a bummer.
Dang, that internet. Did you watch Bofuri? I don't want to get hurt, so I maxed out my defense.
No,
I did,
wanna
yeah.
watch that.
What
Yep.
did you think about that one?
It was good. Yeah, I thought it was definitely funny.
It's definitely funny, silly, right? Like the whole into this MMO, and she doesn't know what she's doing. She's like, I don't want to get hurt, so all my points at the defense.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought that was good. Do you know when they're coming out with another season of that?
Oh man, it's supposed to be hopefully soon, but I ran through it and I was like, oh, we're seeing. I'm like, this is so good, like because I can't wait for you to watch it because by the end, like you watch it and she keeps stumbling upon ridiculous things and like you see the moderators of the game attempting to nerf her.
Yeah,
like they nerf one of her abilities, make it so she can only times a day because she like went into a public event and was just ripping through people with the ability. So they were like, oh, let's nerf this.
Yeah,
and then she gains like his mecha suit ability where she guns and missiles and all types of aiming things. I'm like, yo,
that's
everybody.
insane.
So then everybody she goes against is like, what's like we thought that was all she could do. Where did she get this from?
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's,
she just like stumbles upon these like random like quest like bosses. And just like she just takes them out because she takes 0 damage because her defense is maxed out.
That's insane. Okay, that's on like Crunchyroll, right?
No,
I watched it on Funimation.
Yeah, I don't think it's on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, but honestly, like she even starts bumping it. Like she starts recruiting people that are quirky. She recruits these twins who both maxed out only their attack. So like she starts bumping into people, oddball people, and making like this guild with them, and they're like, yo. So then these twins, they got like small tiny things. They got these hammers. They're like,
that's sick.
But they're super slow, so they can't dodge anything.
Yeah, but they have massive attack.
Massive attack. What was it when they said like when they got invited to join guild, they like went to like bend to say thank you, and their foreheads hit the table, broke the table, in pieces.
I like that. I like it when an anime like that doesn't take itself too seriously and it's just kind of like,
oh, not at all. This one definitely does not take itself seriously. I did start the second season of a more gloomy anime. I know Tyler's not too into the gloom and doom. The Promised Neverland season 2.
That just came out, right?
The season 2 is airing now, and like I'm like, ooh, it's getting real suspect, real
Quick.
Like I think the last episode ends with like them answering the phone and talking to the one person who's leaving clues since season 1 to let them know that they were in a farm, like a human farm. So that one's getting real interesting, and I think it's slow burning right now, but it's working its way towards something good. Like I was telling you guys before the show, caught up with Attack on Titan, and of course Attack on Titan broke the internet with episode 6, I believe. The main character completely goes against anime's main rule, right? You
don't tell me. I haven't even finished season 1. Don't spoil it.
You're not gonna make it, bro. Well, it's not a spoiler. It breaks anime's biggest rule. You never attack in the middle of a transformation.
Oh yeah, I saw a meme about that online.
You really look at it, Tyler. Every anime you watched, they never ever attack anyone in the middle of a power up or a transformation.
Okay.
So he came through. Main character broke that rule. Episode 6, mid transformation, just up like overhand punched one of the enemies. Like I was like, wow, I could see why the internet went crazy. This was like you weren't expecting it. Like you were like, I'm like, okay, let's see what Titan this is. They're transforming before the Titan was even done transforming. Overhand punch.
That's fair. You want to avoid a big boss fight. You gotta do that.
Right. You gotta get in there, attack right away. So
was it like a one of a kind transformation, or was it just like
He was just gonna
like,
power up.
did it happen any other time?
It was like that, the transformation that the Titans do, because the Titans, if you haven't seen Attack on Titan, spoiler, even though half the world has, is that Titans are actual people. Like the unique Titans are actual people. they're actual people, Tyler, right? So they transform, like they're normal human bodies, and then they get these Titan bodies engulfing them, right? So they're in control of them from like the nape of the neck. So,
gotcha. All right, you're good, Anthony.
So, see, I'm trying.
That was the breakdown. Actually talking about anime, I haven't finished the first season of the Dragon Quest anime that was airing on Funimation.
Hell yeah.
I watched the first 5 episodes and then I fell off of it.
Was it called like Dragon Quest Dai or Sai?
Yeah. I was looking at that. I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to start it.
It's not too bad. I think it just follows kind of the story of which Dragon Quest is that, Anthony? Is that 5?
I don't know. I got to look, actually. It's what, Dragon Quest Dai? I actually really want to start that because I've been in such a Dragon Quest phase.
Yep. So I'm in such a Dragon Quest phase. I want Xbox and start all over again, even though I never finished the second half on the PS.
Yeah, it's I love that game. That's such another good one. I was watching my roommate play it.
Nice. What have I been watching?
What have you been watching? Because I know I want to jump in anything on Funimation because that's where I've been watching most of mine.
Nah, I watch all my stuff on Crunchyroll pretty much. But I've been watching Dr. Stone is airing. Seasons 2 just started this month.
Okay.
I've been watching Jujutsu Kaisen. That's been really good. That's still coming out with new episodes. Black Clover, of course, every Tuesday.
Yeah. Funimation's backed up right now. They only drop simulcast English dubs, so they don't drop the Japanese episodes by themselves.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those are the 3 big ones that I've been watching. Dr. Stone, Black Clover, Jujutsu. I feel like
that's what I gotta get back on.
That's not bad. I know that those are some pretty good ones. I know I gotta get back onto the Dr. Stone wave.
Yeah.
That's good. One that I know you definitely talk highly about, Tyler. And just kind of, I'm trying to get back to watching ending. Let myself wind down with them. I did run through. I don't know if I said this in a previous show, but did take the time out and I ran through Tower of God and God of High School. Ran through both of those, and I actually enjoyed them. Yeah. Tower of God really messed me up. I was like, and then when it ends the way it ends, like, yo, are you serious? This is how you're gonna just end season 1? So I was really like, whatever.
Yeah, I liked Tower of God a lot more than I liked God of High School.
Same here.
God of High School was just kind of like meh. Like, all right, like fights are cool and stuff like that, but I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of like substance to it.
Yeah, I felt like the plot got really convoluted quickly.
Wasn't it's originally a like a webtoons comic? So it was like a fan.
Both of them. I think both of them are Korean webtoons, I think.
Yeah.
Originally. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool to see that, if you kind of stick to it enough, you can, if you're making a web comic, it's.
I was literally hearing that season 2 of Tower of God might even not even have anything to do with the main character of season 1. I was like, how are you gonna do me like that?
Right.
I was like,
Speaking of doing me, have you guys seen all the hubbub online? You guys seen all the hubbub online about the Resident Evil?
The vampire babe.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping Tyler would have played the demo and
Super tall vampire. Nah, I haven't played it yet.
So much porn. People are loving it. People are eating it up.
Listen, it definitely could see the sex appeal behind it. I saw the trailer and all, where the gaming community went full on in with the mother vampire and the badonkadonk in the back.
Oh yeah, she's just like she's like a big, tall, thick lady.
She is
not to like?
Thick and tall. tall and thick.
Oh yeah. Nintendo. There's a Twitter just gave me a Nintendo of America, but it's clearly a parody account that just said Nintendo is coming to Switch, and I'm like, wait, a minute.
Oh, perfect.
Doesn't make no sense.
Man, what else? Man, other than anime, you know what definitely what I've been doing a lot more lately is just you know what game I was playing the other day, and I'm like, oh, the Division 2. I was like, oh, I was playing it and playing some of that and playing some more Rogue Company because I was like, you know what, I don't need the toxic levels that Warzone sometimes brings.
Oh yeah.
And that game, man, they like once they did the merging of Cold War and Warzone, they added some new weapons and they had this DMR that was just I wanted to break my controller. My new controller that came with the Series X, I was ready to break it because these DMRs cut you down like your cheese, and it's a hot blade. Like you're there, the DMR is the hot blade just cutting through cheese, and you can't do nothing about it. And it's like you're trying to run, and it's like pop, 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 and I'm like, oh, there goes DMR. I'm down. I'm dead.
No, thanks. Yeah, that's not fun.
Took the fun out of it for me, so I was like, you know what, I'm venturing off into other games.
Yeah, take a little break.
Take a little break from this toxicity that is Call of Duty.
It's no fun anymore. There's no point. It's just like, I'm gonna take a little break.
So then I go from one toxicity to go die in Dark Souls 3. And
oh god.
As you saw in that first stream, Anthony, I was like, "Oh, what's this? It's jumping off the ledge. Maybe there's something there."
I was gonna say, is he gonna do? I was eating breakfast and watching. I was like, is he gonna do it? Is he? I was like, I think Kenny is confused. The little things on the ground, those like the notes are like that's what he thinks you gotta do. I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna do it. Oh, he did it. He jumped off the cliff. I was like, that's good for him.
Yeah,
man, I was struggling so bad. Like then the first boss. My buddy's in my ear. He's like, yeah, the first boss is like teaching you how to play. And I'm like, teaching me how to play? Yeah, I don't see any hints on screen. I was like, he has a second phase. What? This is what I got to go through all game? I was like, oh no, man. Then I had somebody in the stream for YouTube trying to guide me, like, oh, run through. I'm like, I run through how? So then he's like, oh, run through, and then you go upstairs and light the fire, and you'll be fine. I'm like, all right. So I try to run through, and then I fall through a hole, and I like 2 whole floors, and then I'm getting attacked by a mimic, and I was just bad. I was like, what is happening? And then I was there. So I'm like, I want to lose my souls permanently. I had like 5,000 souls. I'm like, I need. So then I'm like, now I have to actually fight my way to gather these things. And I'm like, people judging me in the chat. People are like, do you know how to block? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. I'm like, what you want me to do? Do I block? Do I dodge roll? Which one?
What's the right word?
Which one is it? So I was like, definitely a struggle. And I was like, how do people enjoy this? This is masochism.
Yeah, it's hard. No, thank you.
Getting beat down and beat down and beat down. I'm like, Jesus, I could see why Wiley says that Tyler doesn't finish it.
It's hard.
I know. I still haven't picked up Demon Souls for a while.
Again, yeah, that's fair.
Tyler said, forget this game. It's gonna sit there.
Mm-hmm. Like it definitely gets frustrating. Like it was weird for like Bloodborne when I played it. Like the first time around, like I got like, I don't know, halfway through. But then I got stuck on a boss and I put it down for a while, and then I picked it up like 6 months later. And I was able to get through that boss, and then like everything else was just kind of like not a cakewalk, but I mean I was able to complete everything. Yeah. And then like Demon Souls comes in, and it's just like I have no idea what to do.
No, yeah, that's it. There's a way, like when I was looking at it first, or before I pick up one of those games, I'm like, is there any way I can break it? Is there any like glitch that'll just make it a lot easier for me?
Yeah, I mean that's one thing for me too, is like when I do play a game like that, and Wiley's the opposite of this, but I prefer to go in without any knowledge.
blind, right?
Yeah, just blind. Like I'm not gonna like look up the game facts or anything like that on how to get through
Yeah.
this level.
That's wild.
But I know Wiley, like if he is getting stuck, like he gets to a point a lot quicker than I do to like look up and figure out how to get through it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way. If I sit there, I'm like, look, I'm either putting this game down or I'm finding out how to get through this part.
And right, like we all have those points, right? That we sit there and we're like, all right. For me, if it's a puzzle, it's for me, it's puzzles. Like if I'm in a puzzle and I've already spent 30 minutes looking at it, like before this game gets uninstalled, I'm looking it up. Because I'm uninstall it. Because if after 30 minutes I haven't figured out this puzzle, I'm not figuring it out.
Yep.
Right. When it comes down to boss fights or so, it really gotta test me. Like I really gotta be stumped to really look it up. And I think for the most part, they haven't really reached moments like that, except for Monster Sanctuary, and it still didn't help me looking it up because I still haven't finished the game.
That's rough though. You spend so much, put so much time and hours, especially into grinding a specific team of monsters, and just to get to the end to find out, like, yeah, you gotta go back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got a bunch of grinding with other ones, and it's hard because that when you're going through that game in certain areas, the monsters don't spawn as much as you think, or it's like you see a bunch on screen and you hit one, you get into a battle, you leave, nobody else is in the same room, so you got to backtrack.
Or you gotta go and use like the monster ball or bell or whatever, spawn them right then and there, and then you're like just sitting there fighting and respawning, sitting there fighting using this item to respawn, and it's an over and over grind just to try and get. Because once you hit the max level, every egg you opens hatches at a level 37, so
Okay.
you don't have to do much grinding. But still, once they get to 37, you still got to bring them from 37 to 40 to gain their ultimate ability. So it was a little rough for me, and I still haven't beat it. So I'm like, man, I feel so defeated right now because of it.
It's rough.
But I definitely was gonna ask Tyler, the PS5 before we wrap up soon. How do you feel like? Was it a must-have? Like I feel like you might not. You're not picking it up that much, right?
Yeah, I play.
Glad to have it out the way.
I play Rocket League on it.
Hell yeah!
So it's just one of those like you're like, hey, I'm glad I picked it up. Everybody's struggling. I got it.
I have it now. So for when things do release, like I know there's going to be some games coming out that I'm going to want to pick up and play. I mean one reason was like Cyberpunk and like figuring that I was going to play well. I still actually haven't like revisited that just because like it did leave like a bad taste in my mouth.
Even on the PS5?
Yeah, I mean it crashed a number of times on me.
Whoa.
Yeah, you see, I didn't even attempt because I'm treating the Series X like a baby. Anything that's gonna crash on it is not getting played.
But yeah, I mean, there's no other like PS5 games that I've actually played on it other than Demon Souls. Well, yeah, Bugsnax.
Bugsnax.
But you ran through that, so you don't have that to.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know there's going to be more games coming out. It's good to have.
Oh yeah,
it is. It's
still new.
Especially with getting it and getting ahead of the curve, so you didn't have the scalpers or bots buying it up and things like that. I know that when I pick it up, but I'm happy with the Series X. I'm can't go wrong with Game Pass. Quick resume, love it, and I'm putting hours into this bad boy already. And yeah, just been floating around actually with all these games. I definitely say before we wrap up today, I think main thing I want to say to you guys and just people listening is that let's head into February, making sure we stay up with our mental health, man. I know that I feel like we're nearing the end where people getting vaccinated. Hopefully, this is the last stretch of all this pandemic and being 6 feet apart. So let's not waver and at the last stretch, and let's make it to that finish line so we can all do an episode together.
Yeah, I agree.
And get back to recording, get back to maybe a possible best frenemies in person.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully July. Hopefully we're looking at July.
That would be
Well,
awesome.
I know Tyler's looking at July because
Summertime.
that's his normal vacation time, so he's traveling.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, hopefully but then still that's another 6 months.
I know.
That's a stretch. That would have been that'll be officially we would have been in quarantine and everything for a year and 4 months at that point. That's
Wow.
the earliest, right? If we're shooting for July. If it goes anything that we're hitting the 1.5 mark. So it'll be wild. The next couple months gonna be testy, but we got this, and I hope to keep on making some more content, and just having some fun playing some games. Hopefully we could find some games on Steam we could play together, stream it, see if people have fun watching it.
Oh yeah.
I always love beating you guys into the ground in games. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah, bad.
I've retired Tyler in a couple of games already, so it's fine.
Just totally killed it.
Yeah. Well, we ain't gonna be playing another deck builder in a while.
Actually, you say that, but I just downloaded that new waifu one on Game Pass. So we'll see.
The Neoverse.
Yeah, Neoverse. No,
Nice.
The fact that I already knew which one he was.
Oh,
you
yeah.
say anything says deck building in the description, I'm all over it looking at it.
Oh yeah.
Well,
So I did.
All right, guys. I gotta go eat some za and then watch Anthony play Mario RPG.
Hell yeah. You let me know when you're done.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds perfect, guys. It was great doing this filler episode, just casual conversation. Everybody, take it easy. We'll see you guys at a later date next week, most likely. And goodbye.